Hello YouTube divers, this is WaterDive122, and today I'm going to be going down my top 100 all-time favorite hard rock slash heavy metal songs. Now, what I'm going to do here is that I am going to do 20 songs per video. This will be a 5-part series, and I'm hoping to have this done by the end of the week. These are all hard rock and heavy metal songs. I love all these songs, and it was hard for me to rank them, but in the end, this is what I have, so without further ado, let's get started. Coming in at the bottom, number 100, we got Square Hammer by Ghost from the 2015 album Meliora. Now, basically the reason why I put this at the bottom was mainly because I just feel like there are some better songs than this one. I mean, this is a great song, and it was a very important song for Ghost. But in the end, it just doesn't really sound like a Ghost song. And especially if it's on the same album as frickin' Cerise, which is freaking amazing in of its own self. But Square Hammer is a little bit poppy for Ghost. I don't really like the type of direction that they were trying to go in at this point. The music video is great, but in reality, this is a great song. It's a freaking classic, but it just falls a little bit short. Let's move on. Number 99, Ashes of Eternity by Blind Guardian, released on the 2015 album Beyond the Red Mirror. Now, I feel like that Beyond the Red Mirror is a classic Blind Guardian album, and I'm pretty sure a lot of Blind Guardian fans would probably agree with me. And some may not, but who knows. But in my opinion, Ashes of Eternity is a freaking kick-butt song. I love Ashes of Eternity. Now, yeah, the vocal performance is not really the best. The drums are not really at their best. But I love the intro to this song. It's so freaking heavy. But it basically just sounds like classic Blind Guardian. So, there's that. Moving on to 98, we got the first Halloween song in this series. And there's going to be a lot of them. Rise and Fall from Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 from 1988. Every time I talk about Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2, I always say that Rise and Fall is one of the standout tracks from this album. And in my opinion, it is. It's one of Halloween's funniest songs, if you really want to sit there and put it in that perspective. But I freaking adore this song. I don't really remember who wrote it. I think it was Kai Hansen. I could be wrong. But when it comes to everything else that Halloween did on Keepers Part 2, it's probably my least favorite single. It's probably my least favorite standout track from Keepers Part 2. But I absolutely love this song. And like I said, this won't be the last time that Halloween is featured in this series. Now we're moving on to number 97, In Asleep in the Deep by Mastodon. This was the song that got me into Mastodon. This was from the 2014 album, Once More Around the Sun. In my opinion, it's... Once More Around the Sun is kind of in the same league as Leviathan or Crack the Sky or Blood Mountain, albums like that. But this is definitely more progressive compared to their early stuff. But I really enjoy Asleep in the Deep. And plus the music video is one of my favorite music videos of all time, so there's that. Moving on to number 96. Oh, Halloween makes its return again, this time from 2010 Seven Sinners. We're talking about Are You Metal? Are You Metal? Yeah. This is one of my favorite songs from the Andy Darius era. So freaking heavy, and it basically sounds like a modern-day metal song. Now, Seven Sinners in of its own self is not really great. I mean, Where the Sinners Go, and it's something else, but, Where the Sinners... But Are You Metal is my favorite song off of Seven Sinners, for sure. And the music video, don't really care about it, but it's freaking good. Andy Darius sounds great, as does the two guitar players of Michael Wyckoff and Sasha Greshner, Marcus Grosskopf, and of course, Danny Lubell. All of them sound great. The whole band sounds phenomenal on that song. And, yeah, so Are You Metal coming in at number 96. Now, coming in at number 5 is Sabracadabra by Black Sabbath from 1973's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. Now, this is probably my second favorite song on Sabbath Bloody Sabbath behind the title track. But, yeah, I love this song. It has one of my favorite riffs from Tony Iommi, and it has one of my favorite vocal performances by Ozzy Osbourne. So, there's that. I love Sabracadabra so much, and every time I listen to it, I'm like, okay, that was kind of embarrassing to do on camera, but you know. Now we're moving on to 94. I'm gonna stop it. Okay, we're moving on to number 94, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. This from 1972's Machine Head. Now, this one might be a controversial pick, given the fact that I'm not really a big fan of late 60s, early 70s psychedelic rock, but this is an exception. Even though a lot of people say that this is an overplayed song, I can see why. It's just so iconic, and it's one of those songs, like, if you hear it on the frickin' radio, you're gonna be like, hey, is that Smoke on the Water? It is Smoke on the Water. Yeah, let's listen to that. Ian Gillan sounds amazing on vocals. The drums and the organ and the bass and the guitar, everything sounds great, even though the guitar riff is very simple. But, like I said, it's one of those guitar riffs that every beginner guitar player has to know and know how to play. So, there's that. So yeah, Smoke on the Water comes in at number 94. Coming in at number 93, Living on a Prayer by Bon Jovi from 1986's Slippery When Wet. Now, this is the only Bon Jovi song that will appear in this series. And John Bon Jovi is a really good singer, and I love his vocal performance on this song. And I love this album. One of Bon Jovi's best. I wouldn't really say that this is their greatest song, because you might argue that You Give Love a Bad Name is Bon Jovi's best, or Bad Medicine is their best, or whatever other songs they did. Bon Jovi's a really great band. Slippery When Wet is a really great album from 1986. So yeah, with that all being said, Bon Jovi's Living on a Prayer comes in at number 93. 92, we got Living After Midnight by Judas Priest from 1980's British Steel. Judas Priest is, in my opinion, one of the most overrated bands. That's just my opinion. I mean, of course, British Steel is a really great album. Screaming for Vengeance is another great album. And of course, Painkiller. Rob Halford is a really great singer, and Glenn Tipton and KK Downing are both really great guitar players. Their drummer is great, their bassist is great. Judas Priest is a great band, but I think they're a little bit overrated. Mainly because they only had, in my eyes, 3 successful albums. Sorry to any of you Judas Priest fans out there, but I say Living After Midnight is one of their best songs, in my opinion. It's the song that got me into the freaking band, so there's that. So yeah, Judas Priest's Living After Midnight from British Steel coming in at number 93. No, excuse me, at 92. Now, 91, we got We're Not Gonna Take It by Twisted Sister from 1984's Stay Hungry. Now, yeah, this is another one of those songs that if you put it on the freaking radio, you're like, yeah, I know this song. You might not know who the band is, but you know the song, right? Especially from the chorus line that Dee Snider does. Freaking amazing. Now, like with Judas Priest, I do think that Twisted Sister is a little bit overrated, just a hair. Mainly just because outside of Stay Hungry, in my eyes, they don't really have any other successful albums. I mean, I'm sure some of their albums were very successful, but not Stay Hungry successful. But We're Not Gonna Take It and I Wanna Rock, both of them are really great, but I had to settle on We're Not Gonna Take It. It's definitely the most catchy Twisted Sister song, and it's definitely... And the music video is freaking hilarious. Go watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about. Now we're going on to number 90, Slide It In by Whitesnake. I know this album came out in the early to mid 80s. I'm going to say this album came out in 1984, but I could be wrong. 84, 85, somewhere around there. But Slide It In, the title track from Slide It In is a freaking great song. And of course, David Coverdale sounds freaking amazing on this song. And I love the guitar, and I love the intro of this song, that opening guitar riff. The drums also sound great. There's really not much to complain about this song. As I said, I love all these songs to death. And I would go back and re-listen to them any chance I could. So, there we go. Moving on to number 89, we got Holy Diver by Dio. The song, not really the album. Although the album Holy Diver from 1983 is a freaking great album. Now, this is my favorite song. Obviously, my favorite song from Holy Diver. The intro is a little bit long, I'm not gonna lie. But Ronnie James Dio's absolutely kicks butt. And this was at the peak of his career. After he first started off with Rainbow, then he joined Black Sabbath for 2 albums. And now he has a phenomenal... And now he kickstarts his solo career with a freaking classic. That's Holy Diver. I love the opening parts. Not really the quiet intro, but I really love the loud intro. That guitar riff, easily recognizable for any hardcore metal fans. Holy Diver by Ronnie James Dio, coming in at number 89. Now at number 88, we got Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train from 1980, Blizzard of Oz. Now, this song, it's another one of those songs, like, if you put it on the friggin' radio, you're gonna immediately know what that song is. You might not know who it is, but you know, it's, yeah. So iconic. Randy Rhoads, I think he was only 19 when this album came out. And my goodness, he freaking smokes. And of course, the solo on Crazy Train. Woo! That kid can play. Rest in peace, Randy Rhoads. And now we're going into number 87, The Unforgiven 3 by Metallica from 2008's Death Magnetic. Now, this is my second favorite sequel for The Unforgiven, even though I don't really like the original version of The Unforgiven. I love this song. I love the piano that opens up this song. And it's definitely my favorite song from Death Magnetic. I think it's a really great song. It is a little bit too long, but I think that James Hetfield sounds amazing vocal-wise. Now, yeah, the production could be a lot more better on this album and on this song. But, you know, James's vocals completely takes it away. Now we're moving on to number 86, Eagle Fly Free by Helloween. Yes, the third time we reached Helloween so far. And let me tell you, this is a freaking classic. I love this song, but it's my second to least favorite standout track from Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2. This was from 1988, same year as Rise and Fall. I really, really love this song. but it doesn't connect with me all the time, and that's why I placed it lower. And just a little heads up, some of these next picks could be controversial, so. We're moving on to number 85, Nightfall by Blind Guardian from the 1998 album Nightfall in Middle-earth. Now, this was the song that got me into Blind Guardian. I really love the vocal performance. I don't remember who the vocalist for Blind Guardian is. But he sounds amazing on this. The musicianship is great. This might be a little bit of an overplayed song, but I don't freaking care. I think it's a freaking classic. Now we got number 84. We're returning back to Metallica with The Thorn Within from 1996 and Load. Now, this is where it might get controversial, because I know a plethora of metal fans would not even think about putting this song above songs like Eagle Fly Free. But in my opinion, this song just connects with me more, and that's why I enjoy it a little bit more than Eagle Fly Free. But I'd say both songs are just as freaking good. So, without further ado, Thorn Within, number 84. Number 83 is Sweating Bullets by Megadeth from the 1992 album Countdown to Extinction. I love this song. I mean, this song is about schizophrenia, which, of its own self, is a very difficult subject to try and tackle. But Megadeth just does it so well. And the music video, freaking amazing. And it's one of my favorites. Now we're moving on to Children of the Grave by Black Sabbath from 1971 and Master of Reality. This is another staple in the Black Sabbath discography, and the Ozzy Osbourne era for that matter. It's just so heavy, and once again, it has one of my favorite riffs from Tony Iommi, and the ending with that whisper chant, Children of the Grave. I freaking love it. Freaking love it all the freaking time. And now we're moving on to A Tale That Wasn't Right by Helloween, coming in at number 81 from the 1987 album Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1. Now, this is one of the greatest ballads of all time, and it's my favorite ballad from the power metal genre. And of course, it's obviously my favorite Helloween ballad, for that matter. And so, yeah, there's not really a lot to say here. And now at number 80, speaking of great ballads, number 80 is Guns N' Roses' November Rain from 1991, Use Your Illusion 1. Great ballad, great stuff. I love Slash's guitar solo on this. Axl Rose is a very good pianist, in my opinion. And he just sounds amazing. I mean, his vocals freaking suck. But, in my opinion, Axl Rose is not really the greatest singer for ballads. But that's just not just my cup of tea. So this wraps up part 1 with a bang. Hope you all enjoyed part 1 of my 5-part mini-series here on Magic Metal Mondays, where I talk about my top 100 all-time favorite metal and hard rock songs ever. At the time this video has come out, I had 9 songs that I added recently onto my heavy metal list. In one of my later videos, I will post it in the description of that later video. But I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching, my fellow YouTube divers. This is Water I 122 signing out, ready to dive into more fun on YouTube. Thanks for watching.